Life is where water is. These words sum up how vital water is for life on Earth. United Nations conceived the campaign Water for Life. And in year 2003, General Assembly of the United Nations proclaimed year 2005 to 2015 as International Decade for Action to ensure long-term sustainable management of water resources. Also, the year 2013 was declared as International Year of Water Cooperation. India's Ministry of Water Resources too has played its part by pronouncing 2013 as Water Conservation Year. National Institute of Hydrology or NIH is India's premier research and development institute in the area of hydrology and water resources since last 3 decades. NIH aims strategic research on all aspects of hydrology and water resources development. The institute is well equipped with computers and laboratories to carry out field-oriented studies. Water is essential for life as well as basic necessity of agriculture and industries. Water is required in abundance for bumper agricultural production. However, scarcity of water has dried up farmlands and tube wells that were installed to irrigate crops. Earth's surface is comprised of total 71% of water. Oceans comprises of 97% of all the water on Earth. But the salinity makes seawater unfit for drinking. Remaining 3% constitutes the planet's freshwater resource. Ice caps and glaciers comprise 69% of available freshwater, and 30% of it is groundwater. 0.3% of all the fresh water is available in the form of surface water, while 0.9% in form of other sources. Many rivers originate from the glaciers found at high altitude. Rainfall on the mountains lead to rise in the water levels of these rivers. The early course of the river is often steep with rapidly flowing water. Cloudbursts in the mountains cause heavy downpour that raise water levels of river, and it flows down gushingly. When river flows through flat lands, it is joined by tributaries. The river collects more water and gets wider. River water also leads to soil erosion during the course of its flow. One of the solutions of this problem is check dam. By constructing a check dam, we can control the flow of water and prevent the soil erosion too. A check dam is constructed across a drainage ditch, swale or channel. It can be built from stone, sandbags or concrete. Reduced runoff speed reduces erosion and gulling in the channel and allows sediments and other pollutants to settle down. Water stored with this low-cost structure can be used to recharge the groundwater. Check dams lead to a clearer flow of water. It also helps farmers to develop their own irrigation system. Using water-efficient irrigation technologies can make a big difference to keep farmland irrigation system run efficiently without wasting a large amount of water. Losses of water are high with traditional irrigation techniques like flood irrigation. To keep a check on water overflow, one can switch to water-efficient techniques. Sprinkler irrigation and drip irrigation are two of those water-efficient techniques. Sprinklers, that are generally called sprays or spray heads, are installed in the field. In the sprinkler method of irrigation, water is sprayed into the air and allowed to fall on the ground surface, somewhat resembling rainfall. Drip irrigation method saves water by allowing water to drip slowly to the roots of plants, either onto the soil surface or directly onto the root zone, through a network of valves, pipes and emitters. It is done through narrow tubes that deliver water directly to the base of the plant. Unlike sprinklers, drip irrigation applies water directly to the root zone, eliminating water loss through evaporation. System of rise intensification, known as SRI. In this technique, seedlings are planted in square pattern. The seedlings should be planted separately with their roots intact at precise spacing. Rice plant roots and canopies grow better if spaced widely rather than densely. SRI requires the root zone to be kept moist, not submerged. Water applications can be intermittent, leaving plant roots with sufficiency. SRI technique benefits farmers in several ways. That includes water savings up to 30 to 40% and reduction in seed use up to 50%. The supply of fresh water is limited, vulnerable to human abuse. Freshwater resources around the world have been overused and polluted. Water bodies like pond and step wells are prone to pollution. Lack of cleanliness results in growth of algae, can cover a pond with slimy, lime green clumps or mats in a short period of time. Water pollution takes place when effluents from factories are directed towards river water. These pollutants affect marine life too. The most widespread source of water pollution is disposal of sewage of urban centers into rivers. Sewage treatment has become the need of the hour to keep river free of pollutants. Sewage can be treated close to where the sewage is created, or can be collected and transported by a network of pipes and pump stations to a municipal treatment plant. Centralized system sewage treatment plants are designed mainly to treat the sewage water and remove most of contaminants from the wastewater and sewage water. One of the clearest steps towards water conservation is also the most obvious one: use less water. Lots of water gets wasted doing household chores like doing the dishes, watering the garden, washing clothes or taking a shower. We must turn off the taps if they are not in use. Also, we should keep a check on leaking faucet and pipes. Due to non-conservation of rainwater, the problem of waterlogging is abundant in small and big cities. Use of groundwater can be reduced by installing rainwater harvesting system. Harvesting of rainwater is simply the collection of water for domestic or commercial use that would otherwise go down the drain. In many places, the water collected is just redirected to a deep pit with percolation. Rainwater is accumulated and then used for household works. Global warming poses threat to glaciers and icebergs. It is believed that glaciers are melting due to Earth's rising temperature, which consequently may affect people living in coastal areas. In the recent past, Ladakh farmers confronted a scarcity of water due to retreating of glaciers and dwindling snowfall. Melting water from the glaciers has been the only source of irrigation here, and these receding glaciers became a matter of serious concern until Mr. Chivang Norfel ushered them towards the solution with artificial glacier. Mr. Norfel, also known as Iceman, is a retired civil engineer. He encouraged the farmers to accumulate the water flow down after melting from glaciers and use it for irrigation. This practice can be adopted by several other farmers who live on high altitudes. Water pollution is the major cause of sharp rise in shrinking fresh water bodies across the globe. A secure future depends upon efforts that we will put today to accumulate clean water. We must not forget that water is elixir of life.